Ka Sorkar jylla mentak sngi ha kajingalang jong review meeting bakerki kala Shim bon tli kirai khamtam hadien baka jylla kala saki ya kajing Kiew Stet jong ka Khlam covid khat khandai katkum kajing itu menteri rangba ukon rat kongkal sangma ka jylla haki arpsan sngi ni haka second wave kala Kiew hadu nriu sha bania ka balong haus nem baladam na kajing don gibreu gi bebet ya Khlam covid khat khandai katkum kajing itu jong menteri rangba menchim snem ka bedai ka first wave haki sispa khat sausni kidon nriu spa nriu san ngut ki sha kata ka Khlam covid khat khandai katba haka second wave haki arpsan sngi kidon hadu nriu spa prapongut ki bayab ya kani ka Khlam banyada ya kajing pur Stet jong kani ka Khlam na kaliang jong Sorkar mentak sngi kala Shimru ya karai ban khang shwa ya ki school nadu kelas nursery hadu kelas 12 tang hanong ba Shillong kaban sedang nadu lasai ka sngi hadu ka sauterik jong upanai jemang banwan bat hadian kata ke Sorkar kan sa Shimru sedaki waipat ki senjam lada dan kam susu nagaliang jong ke Sorkar kala Shimru ya karai ban khang shwa ya ki turis ki bawan na sabar jong ka jylla nadu ka arpulai terik kata nagbenta khat sausni bat kumju ki private office ki mall bat ki restoran ki dai ban trai kam tang hapo 100% ka jing bun brio hakabai dai bat ki office Sorkar na kaliang jong menteri rangba ulai itu bak Sorkar kan sapha ya ka jing panpana kham hadian hakajuk opor na kaliang Sorkar kala Shimru ya garai ba nagbenta banle ya ka RT-PCR test ya gibreu gi bawan na sabar jong ka jylla north east katai ka test ka banlong hapo sabu pra kenta bakiyo negative ya ka report omshu nyu ar kenta kumbalabo hakajuk opor na kaliang ukonrat ulakren shai ba ka Sorkar kamdan jing tungu banwan ra ya ka lockdown hapo ka jylla henrei ula kentu ya ki pajba ban ai ka jing trailang banyada na ka jing saprang jong kani ka Khlam covid khat khandai haka kala ka baar khnang ba ka jylla kan light na ka lockdown ni ka jing khang dam
we just completed our review of the COVID-19 cases in the state, and just to draw your attention, you would if you could just look at the screen on the behind you, you would see that in the first wave that was there in our state in Meghalaya last year, it took us 114 days to reach the first 665 cases. But in the second wave, we have seen that we reached the same number, approximately 680 cases, within 25 days. So last wave, 114 days for 600 plus cases. This time within 25 days, this active cases, they have reached 680. So therefore, the rise of cases has been 6 times higher this time compared to last time. Therefore, the situation is serious, and there are a lot of concerns. And Health Department and all the other departments today, we had a meeting to discuss about some of the restrictions that we may need to put in order to contain the situation and to create awareness among the people regarding the seriousness of the overall COVID situation that we're facing. So keeping that in mind, we will be sending you a proper press release with all the details. But just to tell you, that, so basically we have decided today that there will be restrictions on tourists coming from outside the state from the 23rd of April. This will be applicable for the next 14 days post the 23rd of April. But tourists within the state, local tourists will still be able to visit some of the tourist destinations. But we are giving the liberty to the deputy commissioners to decide certain tourist locations which could be very, very crowded. So we are ensuring that the crowding doesn't take place. So in general, as I said, tourists from outside will not be allowed from the 23rd of April and for the next 14 days after that. But at the same time, local tourists will still continue, and we will review the situation after that. We have also decided that private offices should function at 50% capacity, and those who can work from home should work from home. Even in government offices, we have decided to go for restrictions. So similarly, there will be 50% of restriction. Just one second. Because too many numbers were there. I can't remember. Yeah, so we'll send you the exact restrictions on the government offices. So we will be minimizing the, uh, the people and the employees' strength, the attendance of the employees to a large extent in different government offices. But banks, post offices, and other essential services will function with full capacity. We have also decided that the shops and other commercial agencies will also continue as normal, but we expect them to follow protocols. If the protocols are not followed, then closure notices will be given to individual shops also. But in the meantime, there will be discussions with the different associations to ensure that proper messaging is given to the shopkeepers as well as to the people, the clients who come in, that we need to ensure that protocols are maintained. And we will review the situation in the next 7 days and then further decide on how to move forward. We've also decided that all schools will be closed from tomorrow for the next 14 days, which means the schools will reopen on the 4th. This is, of course, from nursery, LP school, all the way till class 12. But the examination for 10 and 12 will continue. We have made a lot of arrangements for those. While I'm saying all of this, I want to be very clear that this is applicable to the Shillong area. This is not for the rest of the state, because the spike of the cases, almost 80% are in Shillong area. So this is applicable in Shillong. So the other areas, districts, we are still reviewing the situation. To continue, the restaurants and eateries also and hotels can function with 50% capacity. So this also has been, will be very strictly monitored. And again, we have to ensure that the restaurants and eateries and hotels maintain this. Otherwise, again, there will be a lot of serious repercussions of this. We do recommend, though, that in all the restaurants, they should encourage takeaways and not allow people to sit for a long time and open their masks and talk, because that's really where the things spread. Public gatherings will be stopped for the next 14 days. Again, this is in Shillong area. Exceptions are given obviously for weddings and other social gatherings, but this has to be taken with private permission from the Deputy Commissioner. There will be restrictions in funerals also, though of course they will continue because they have to be continued and as per whatever situation, but there will be a lot of restrictions that will be put in there. There will be closure, as I mentioned, of certain tourist locations which see a lot of gathering. For example, locations like the golf links, which is very difficult to control, where we have no boundaries, no fencing, so people just simply gather, whereas places like Watts Lake, it's easier to control. So we will ensure that places where we can control the crowd, those will continue, but places where we can't control the gathering, we will be closing those areas. The RT-PCR testing that we have made it mandatory will be reduced from 72 hours to 48 hours. At the same time, that's all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So apart from that, as I said, we will be sending this entire information to you in writing. So all the points that I've mentioned, you'll get more clarity when we come out with the official press release. But what is important to understand here is that we are, after what happened last year, we are of the strong opinion that there needs to be a balance between the economy and the livelihood of the people and the safety and security of the people also. Therefore, we are not in favor of complete lockdown, and therefore we have started with the restrictions that we feel should help us in the coming days. But all of this will only be possible with the complete support and cooperation of the public, especially of Shillong area. So therefore, we need your support, we need your cooperation in this. You may face some difficulty and challenges in the coming days, but this is being done to avoid any kind of a complete lockdown situation in the next 2 to 3 weeks time. So therefore, we have some time, so we need to control the situation. We ask everybody to ensure that the basic protocols are maintained. We request everybody to avoid crowded places, and also we are going to be going for a very aggressive vaccination program. And I urge all citizens, especially of Shillong area and the different commercial locations like Burnihart, Tura, Clariat, and other locations where people above the age of 45 must get vaccination done. So in order to push this program, we will be calling the local MLAs of Shillong and other places, and discussions will be held with them to take the help and support of the different communities, the Rangbashnongs, Nokmas, and help of religious organizations of different civil society to encourage people who all are above the age of 45 to come up and get themselves vaccinated. But having said that, I want to tell everybody that vaccination is a form of protection. It does not always mean that you can be careless and carefree. So therefore, the vaccination once done does take about close to two months after the second dose is done, and all this first and second dose, you're looking at anything between 1.5 to 2 months before antibodies start coming in. So therefore, we should not get complacent about it. But what is important is that we want the vaccination to be done at a fast pace. So there will be a very focused vaccination driven program which we will conduct in the coming weeks to ensure that we're able to protect more and more people of our state. Apart from that, of course, there are many in terms of the manpower, in terms of the equipments, in terms of the medicines, in terms of the oxygen supply. We have also taken a lot of decisions today to ensure that we're able to have enough stock of all these different medication and oxygen and other equipments that we may need if the situation gets worse. So that is what the decisions that we have taken in general. But of course, I will send a more detailed press release to all of you. But once again, through the press and the media, I request you also to kindly spread this news to every nook and corner of the state, especially more focus on Shillong, that we cannot be complacent, and we need to ensure that we are taking responsibility at our levels also. And if that is not done, then in 15 days, 20 days time, situation could get very complicated and difficult for us. Yeah, we have seen Delhi has today gone for a curfew for 1 week. So at any cost, we as a state would like to avoid that kind of a situation. And this is the right time to be able to do that, and to be able to achieve that, we need the cooperation of the people and the society at large.